Hello everyone. So now we'll be talking about the fourth topic in chapter 1, that is financial inclusion. So what is financial inclusion? Financial inclusion refers to the universal access to wide range of financial services at reasonable cost. Financial inclusion not only includes banking but also financial services like equity and insurance products. So why we need in financial inclusion is that financial inclusion brings the lower income group, the people who earn less and don't feel like they don't want accounts or bank accounts. For them, the concept of financial inclusion was produced. Next we'll talk about the financial inclusion plans. That is, uh, what plans did RBI plan to do? So RBI has advised the banks to have a structured and planned approach towards financial inclusion to prepare board approved FIPs, that is financial inclusion plan. These FIPs capture banks achievements related to various parameters like number of outlets and what are the deposit accounts, how many deposit accounts they have, what are the KCCs in their banks. So you can view it here. This is one of the report in which the bank has mentioned about the branches and this how the earnings and locations covered. All this report helps in tracking the the branches, the number of branches in the villages. Next, we'll talk about RBI policies and initiatives towards financial inclusion. So, first one is basic saving bank deposit. In this, the RBI has advised all the banks to open these accounts by having minimal facilities like no requirement of minimum balance and cash deposits. It is just basic saving bank account. The next is relaxed and simplified know your customer norms. In this, for facilitating ease in opening a bank account, especially small account having a balances less than 50,000, and also aggregate credit in accounts less than 1 lakh in a year. So these KYC norms are because it will be easy for the person who is the customer. It will be easy for them to deposit their money in the accounts. Next is simplified policies and simplified policy for branch authorization. So for addressing the uneven spread of bank branches, domestic scheduled commercial banks, to make them in a format manner. This initiative policy was made by RBI. Then compulsory requirement to open branch in the unbanked villages. We have seen many villages, many remote area villages that still don't have a bank. So to make it available, RBI has taken this initiative to at least 25% of branches should be opened in these type of villages. The next, opening intermediately brick and mortar structures. In this, RBI has advised banks for opening immediate structures between present branch and BC location for managing cash effectively. Next, we'll talk about submission of financial inclusion plan that has been started by April 2010. In this, the private and public sector banks were advised for submitting 3-year FIPs, the format which I had shown it earlier, which is approved by the board from April, and these policies aim at keeping certain set targets in relation with opening of rural brick and mortar branches. Then nextly, FIPs to be disaggregated and percolated up to a branch level. In this, banks were advised to disaggregate their FIPs uh, percolation down to branch levels. Next, financial literacy centers. Usually, people in villages don't know how to operate the ATMs or any like nowadays we are using all digital payment system and all. To literate them all about these. Financial literacy centers were opened. This is an initiative taken by RBI so that people can learn how to use these ways. Next, the most heard scheme of our government is Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. In this, the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji announced this on 15th August, and the objective of this scheme was to ensure access of financial services to each and every low income groups and weaker groups. So PMJDY was mission objective was 6 pillars. These 6 pillars were their objective: universal access to banking facilities, providing basic banking account with overdraft facility and RuPay debit card and all. Then a financial literacy program, creation of credit guarantee fund, micro insurance, unorganized sector pension schemes. Then the role of technology in financial inclusion. In financial inclusions, technologies have played a very important role in the financial inclusion, like eKYC. eKYC it was introduced for reduction of identity fraud, for like forgery of documents and having paperless KYC verification. Then a transaction through mobile banking. This mobile banking, everyone is having mobiles these days, so mobile banking has become a part of financial steps, like revolution of mobile phone is transforming the nation, and this could turn it into a banking revolution in the terms of transaction and reach. Then immediate payment scheme, IMPS. This is a scheme in which this scheme offers that instant funds transferred, like at a limit of I think 50,000 or something. In IMPS, you can transfer money anytime, and it doesn't take much time. It transfers in the real time. The next we'll talk about micro ATMs. These ATMs are basically for the villages where people are not that educated and they don't know how to use it. So micro ATMs is a biometric authentication enabled device which is handheld for making ATMs viable in rural and semi urban centers. Low cost micro ATMs have been deployed at many locations in the name of Bank Mitra. uh, no matter in which bank the account is there of a person, he can go and withdraw money or deposit money in this Bank Mitra. Then National Unified USSD platform. So for customers could avail the USD solution irrespective of the make of the model of the phone. Like there is no requirement of any such application to be downloaded on the consumer's mobile, and no need of any GRPS connectivity. They can use this USD phone and can uh, can transfer money, or any banking activities can be done. Then RuPay debit card. So RuPay is a new scheme, card payment, which was launched by NPCI for offering open loop domestic multilateral system that is allowing all the Indian banks and financial institutions in India to participate in electronic payments. Then Aadhaar enabled payment system. So this is a banking product that allows online inoperable financial inclusion transactions in the like at micro ATMs and and Kisok banking through business correspondence. Then Aadhaar payments bridge system. So this enables payments transfer from for the government and the other government institutions to an Aadhaar enabled account of beneficiaries at bank and post office also. So this case study can be referred to understand the topic more better. And now at the end of the topic, we always do activity. So in this you have to uh, make a group of 2 to 3 people and visit the nearest nationalized bank and inquire about the growth of the PMJDY scheme, that how it has been processed, and what are the few the how many accounts have opened in the last few years since 2014, and what are the operations still going on. So kindly do this activity and make your understanding more reasonable. Thank you.